Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Asheville Ski Club. This is our second Tuesday in March. Welcome, everybody. Glad everyone's here. Uh, it's always good to see folks. Uh, I'm looking at who we've got here. We've got myself, Mr. Baker, Lynn Nichols, Peter, Sonny, Jan, Margaret, and Greg is here. So I'd like to go ahead and get us a secretary report. Peter, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll read the minutes from the last meeting back in February. We discussed the change to the bylaws that will set a new due date for membership dues to June 1st. And the board felt that this change would be beneficial to the club in respect to the money flow and also to align better with the timing of payments due for winter trip signups. Tom Bouchard mentioned that he would make sure any mention of the due date payments in the e-news would be stated properly. Greg Caspers informed us about refunds from the Telluride trip that would have taken place in January 2021. He also gave us a quick summary of what the modified and scaled down Telluride trip that actually took place was like. Jan gave us a quick description of a club trip for skiing to Méribel, France. She stated that there's more information regarding the ski trip and a possible extension to Normandy and Paris in the e-news and also on the club website. We had a brief discussion amongst members about transportation in and around France at that time. Wayne had a discussion regarding ski trips for the 21-22 ski season. He mentioned that I believe we were looking for a representative to go to the Mountain Travel Symposium to meet with trip vendors to begin scoping out future ski trips for the club. And then he mentioned the current lineup of the Crescent Council ski trips that have been announced for the next ski season. The early trip to Steamboat Springs in early December, a trip in mid-January to Sun Valley, and I don't know if there were any others. I didn't have them written down. Wayne also mentioned that club members had expressed in one of these surveys that they would have interest in going to Aspen Snowmass, to Heavenly, to Park City Canyons, and possibly having a winter stay in the Zermatt Resort and Spa setting. And after that, Wayne concluded the meeting.
All right. Any questions? I have a motion to accept the minutes. Several. Got Lynn, second.
I second.
Second by Jim. Any questions? Any comments? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against nay. The ayes got it. Thank you, Peter.
That's all right.
Treasurer, let's just make sure we've got those tasks covered, and I've got them down on a piece of paper. Talk under old business. One was the bylaws, and that was approved to be able to move to June 1st on our due dates. Also, let's see, Jan, I'll bring up France and trips. Also, Zermatt was mentioned in number 9, and we are going to Zermatt, except we're going to do that in July, and we'll get Jan to be able to talk a little bit more about that. But I think that's all of the tasks. Peter, was there anything else that we should be discussing or acting on?
No, that was it.
All right. Let's go into a treasurer's report. Kay cannot be here tonight. She is on the road, but she gave me a report for March, and that is the square account, $3,188.02. In our checking account, $12,707.80. In our CD, $23,186.77. And our total assets, total cash, $39,082.59. And that also reflects a deposit that we sent to Snow Tours for $12,000 for our French trip. So that is Kay's report. Any questions about the financial report? If not, can I have a motion that we approve our finance report?
I do have one question. I'm sorry. Have we not paid holidays for the Zermatt trip yet?
Have we got a contract?
The contract was sent a week ago, Monday.
That's right. I sent it to the board and have not heard anything back from the board. So that's an assumption that's been approved. I have not sent a check, but I'll go ahead and do that. I'll write it out tonight and get it in the mailbox tomorrow. How much was it? Do you remember?
Let me check. I got the contract. Wasn't very much. I think it was like $500. I didn't make a copy of the contract yet.
Thank you.
I think it was 500.
Okay, I'll make myself a note here, and I was out of town working weeks, but I'll get that check written and out to them. But talk about Zermatt. Wayne, you've got that. Is that the board approved Zermatt? But it's a summer trip. So do we get a motion and a second on the treasurer's report? Motion, can I get a motion? Do we get that, Peter?
I'll start a motion to have the report.
Yeah, motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
So,
Second, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Against, nay, ayes have got it. So the task is out of that treasury report is to get that $500 to holidays. And so I've got myself a note to be able to take care of that.
Check that to make sure that that's the amount and that it's not $500 per person.
Okay, I don't think it is, but I will definitely check it before I set it out.
Okay.
But we have a contract. I can't remember. We've got a contract. Need to sign that and send it back in with the deposit, right?
Right.
Okay, with contract. All right, so since we've got the treasurer's report and we've got secretary's report, let's go ahead and go into trips report. Jan, go ahead.
Well, I guess I'll talk about the summer in Zermatt first. This is one that apparently they had put it together a year ago for the idea that it would be for this year, but this year or this past year nothing happened. So they kept the price at the same rate that it was last year, and it was a good price. The Zermatt Resort and Spa is beautiful. If you Google it online, Zermatt Resort and Spa in Utah, you'll see all sorts of gorgeous pictures of it. And they've put together a great plan for us that includes a crater tour, a train ride, several parks, one of them back to waterfalls, wine tasting, museum, a day at Sundance, whitewater rafting, all sorts of things. And the price is only $10.75 per person. That includes all tips and gratuities and local taxes and resort fees and porterage at the hotel. So I have put together a flyer to go out that I will be putting around tomorrow. And I put it in the newsletter. And I'm also going to send out the itinerary to people because it's such a really good itinerary that looks like a lot of fun. When I first put this out to people to see what the interest was like, I have 18 people already who are ready to sign up for it. So that's a good start. I figure I had only booked for 24. So, but you can put more than one person, more than two people in a room, a third person in the room, which could be a child or an adult even on a rollaway bed. And that only costs the 500 and something. So if you have three people in a room, it just looked like a lot of fun. It includes the welcome reception and the first dinner the first night, and breakfast daily. So it's just an awesome deal. And I figure it will probably sell out quickly, but it has to. We don't have a lot of time on this since the trip is in July and already it's March.
So if you're interested, get your name to Jan if you're interested in going. And like I say, it's in the newsletter. It's being advertised. And
Right now,
and
right now,
a good time to scope out this location to see if we want to go back there in the wintertime.
Yeah, well, in the winter, now you're about 15 to 20 minutes away from the slopes. Uh, That's the downside.
like
You're not close to
Hole
slopes.
and then-
You have to take a short.
Be like
Pardon
going
me?
to Jackson Hole and staying in town.
Yeah, it's
Shorter ride than that.
farther than town. It's pretty far. It's great for the summer type of trip. It's great. I'm not so sure I would want it for a ski trip.
No one complains about it in the winter of the groups that have been. They say it's not an issue. It's a short shuttle ride, etc.
That's what I say. Scope it out.
Yeah, it gives you a good chance. Anyway, it's great. It's a great trip for non-skiers or people who want something in the summertime. Or for people who just want to relax in a spa. You know, the resort is beautiful. It's got a lot going for it. So that's why I thought that would be a good trip for people.
It's
A
domestic.
good summer.
One of the nice things about that is also, getting into Salt Lake City is easy. And boy,
Yeah.
it's not a long ride to get there to your final destination. It is like, what, less than an hour probably, maybe an hour, depending on the weather, but it's close. So it's very, very convenient.
So that's that trip. The other one that I have is Maribel, France. That's the largest ski area in the world. It's beautiful. I haven't been there for a long time. Margaret knows exactly how long it's been since we were there.
2000,
2000,
January 2000.
21.
Yeah, but it is the largest ski area in the world. You ski from village to village. It's really phenomenal. And the lodging that we have is ski in, ski out. It comes with all the ground transfers everywhere, and it's breakfast and dinner are included daily. The skiing portion is $1,580. That's if you just want to go for 1 week. We will have it will be set up. We're working on airfare right now, trying to juggle the air so that everybody can go. And then there is an optional extension for $545. And that goes down to, you'll fly from Geneva to Paris, and from Paris, we'll take a coach to Mont Saint-Michel, which is the most charming little island I think I have ever seen. It's just adorable. And it's got all kinds of neat French things on it, including a cathedral that was built in the 11th century. So it's really ancient, but it is cool. Then we'll also see the D-Day museums, where see Normandy and the beaches at Omaha, and the museums there. I've got a video for people to look at to get some idea of what it's about. Then we'll go back to Paris, and we'll spend 2 nights in Paris, 1 full day, and an evening and the night, 1 full day, and then we'll go home the following day. So that is that trip. It won't be ready for signups until we get the airfare. And that, like I said, we're working on it. We should have that together by Friday or Saturday. When I put it out to people, the interest was very high. I asked for 42 spots because I figured this would be high, and I've got at least 32 people that are very interested in it and ready to sign up. So that still gives me space.
Hey, Jan, can I ask you a question?
So
Sure.
I guess I was there longer ago than you all. I was there in the 80s with my first husband. It is phenomenal. And I thought, I can barely remember it, so I thought I would take my second husband. So, but Nick doesn't ski anymore. So he comes along and just hangs with me and, we
There will
do
be
things.
other non-skiers.
Yeah, okay. Is the 1580 price for the first week, including the skiing and all that, or is there a little bit off for that if somebody's not skiing?
It does not include lift tickets.
Oh, it does not.
Lift tickets for that area are $60 for a 1-day ticket for an adult. There are discounts for seniors, there are discounts for multiple days, there are discounts for children. So there are a lot of discounts. So, the lift prices in Europe are very cheap. When you compare them to the United States, it's just mind-boggling. That's why we include the meals there
Okay,
are always included, but lift tickets are not, because a lot of people want to tour. They just want to see
Yeah.
the area. And I have non-skiing spouses that go.
yeah,
Okay, we're staying at the what's it called? Latitude. It's the ski and ski out resort, but it's right in the heart of Maribel.
that's the one we stayed at.
Pardon me?
That's the same one we stayed at.
Really, is it?
I think it's L''ET something, spell it out.
ETERLOU.
I
ETERLOU.
I
But it
I'll
has a-
double check, but I think that's it.
It has a spa now. So.
Well, I'll tell you what I remember about
Yeah.
that trip was, you'd ski and you'd ride all these lifts and funiculars and various things. And then, in the morning, and then you would like ski down, all just down to some village and have lunch and have
Yes.
wine. And then
That's
get some
what-
more shuttles and then spend the whole rest of the time skiing back to the resort. It was something like I've never done before. It's awesome.
I know. That's what I love about Europe. You can ski for 45 minutes and never have to get on a lift.
Yeah.
Just ski and ski and ski. And we enjoyed it before, but I think we must have gone at a warm time. Do you remember when we went before, Margaret?
It was in January. I went in January. It was,
Well, it's gonna be in January again.
I can tell you in about 2 minutes. Okay, so Jan, how do I let you know that we want to be on the list?
Send me an
I-
email.
An email, okay. And can you just give me your email real quick here while you're on there?
Yeah. It's really easy. janvandyne@gmail.com.
Okay, VANDYNE?
DINE.
Okay, thanks.
So original.
It's in the newsletter.
Okay,
Nobody reads the newsletter, and I'll tell you,
I do,
Tom
but
Bouchard puts out the best newsletter. I
Yeah,
have
he sure
ever-
does.
It's really awesome. And I'm astounded that people who don't read it when it's so good.
He does a great job.
I know.
okay. Well, thank you very much.
All right.
I need,
Love to
Jan,
have
I
you.
need to ask you a question. How are
Uh-huh.
you handling the memberships on this? Are you collecting it? Or are you having them do it the way it normally is done, to me or to the post office or the club?
I will be asking them, like I did with the Zermatt trip. I've told them to include their membership on a separate check.
Right,
I
okay,
said, send it all to me, and I will see to it that everything gets to the right people.
all right, that sounds good. I
Because
thought
other
once you-
it gets really confused.
Yeah, I think I read it wrong. It sounded like you said you were gonna collect it all at once. And I'm saying,
Well, I am.
oh, so you're gonna separate it yourself.
No,
I mean,
I told them, I have sent off on the Zermatt trip. I have not sent anything out on Maribel.
Perhaps.
On
Yeah.
the Zermatt trip, I sent them the contract to sign, and it's a $500 deposit. And then I said, I have sent them the form for joining the ski club.
Right.
And I said, send this in a separate check, send it all to me, and I will distribute it to the proper people.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the best way to do it, Jan, because you're the control person for all aspects of it, and that will make a lot more sense.
Well, it got to be such a mess before because some of the things were some were being included in the deposit. People were including their dues in with the deposit, and those go to two different places. Some
Mhm.
of them were sending it to the post office box. I didn't know whether they had paid or not because I didn't have a copy of it.
Right.
People send it all to me. I make copies of everything. And when Jim didn't have it, I could say, okay, here's a copy of the check, and I could show it to him. So it works out better that way because I
Yeah,
keep
I agree. I agree.
copies of
All I
everything.
need is to keep my record straight. Thank you.
Jan, the date was January the 7th to the 5th.
Oh, that's lovely, wasn't it? Well, this is January 22nd through the 29th, with the 4 days bringing it up to February 2nd.
What year was
now
the
I have-
first
I
trip?
have room for a single
2000.
male. I have one single male who's very, very,
Margaret, what was that year? What year?
2000.
Oh, wow. 20 years ago, 21
What was the
years ago.
price? Because I've got the prices on here. What is the price for it? Just the, not the extension.
without air, it's $15.80.
$100 difference. It was six, it's actually cheaper. It was
Wow.
$16.60.
No kidding.
Wow.
The euro must,
Awesome.
actually, there was
Oh,
no
wait a minute.
euro at that time.
That's
Did
They're
true.
probably looking at francs, and they were expensive
Well, did that
compared to the
include air?
dollar.
I'm not sure on the air.
That might have included the air.
I don't have that. I saved stuff, but I didn't save that.
And air is right now, it's really bizarre. We tried to do air to Salt Lake City, and group air was out of sight. So I told people they were better off to book their own air for the Utah trip. That it's
Yeah.
the group air was coming in from Asheville to Salt Lake City for $893 per person. I said you could drive out cheaper.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I've got room for 42 people. I do have two people who have always traveled with me in the past and have moved to Australia. The Strattons. They contacted me and they said, we want to go on that trip, but we're not allowed out of Australia right now. They've done everything.
$3,000 to back.
Yeah, so I said, I can't hold you a spot, Tony. I don't hold spots for anybody, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do.
That's for France, right?
Pardon me?
For
Yes,
France.
that's for France. Yeah.
Well, it sounds great. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you on Jan for trips. Anything else? We don't have anything solid on any other. I've asked for Snowmass numbers and also for Heavenly again. So still waiting on Sarah to be able to send those. So I don't have anything else to report at this time. All right. So trips, membership, Jim Baker.
Yes.
Give us an idea what's going on with the membership. What's our numbers look like?
You want numbers we got to get on this since COVID?
Yeah.
Or the whole membership?
What is our membership as of a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago when you last figured out what is our numbers looking like?
Well, back the last time I added everything up and checked when it was 114 members. That was of January 11th,
Okay,
21.
that's good.
But I wasn't prepared to give you anything on that.
Okay, so 114 as of January. That's cool. I was thinking more like 50, so it's double what I was thinking was going to.
Yeah, pretty slow.
Well, it's probably half what we had from a year ago. But you know what? It's okay. We're going to build it back up, and with the help of Jan and others running trips, people get back interested and come and pay their dues. And so that's what it's all about, providing opportunities for families to be able to connect together, do some family time, and connect with other skiers. So that's
I
what
have
it's.
a question, Wayne.
Yes.
Has the board thought about maybe, say these people that have renewed this year, well, 114 or whatever, give them free membership for next year? And then since we're starting June 1st, taking dues again, that would kind of, you'd just be dealing with the dues, the new ones coming in. Several clubs are giving their members a free year since they haven't had any meetings, haven't had any expenses, so to speak, of for anything. Raleigh is doing it. They're the latest ones that I've heard. They're offering free memberships, not going to charge. And there are a few other clubs that are doing that.
Okay. You know, it's not been brought up to the board, and they have not, they've not discussed it, but you know, we are, you know, that conduit to the board. If the board wants to do something like that, by all means. Discussion. Anybody else having discussion? Jan,
Yeah.
you're on the
It's kind of
board.
a reward for those that paid this year, the 114 that renewed their, you know, it's kind of like a perk.
Might be
Hey,
more than that now.
Our dues is not expensive, and
Yeah,
the thing that worries me about that is if I am going to be collecting membership money for new people, I don't want to have to try to figure out who's paid and when they paid and whatever. It's easier for me to just ask everybody to pay for their dues. Everybody pay their dues and I can turn it in. Otherwise,
know who's paid now. So those, you'd
yeah,
screen those out, and it would be anybody that's not on the list now that would have to send you dues. So
so what's the dues at the other clubs that are given a free year?
ours are actually on the high side. A lot of clubs are only 25 for a single membership, 30 for a family. Raleigh's is, I'd have to double check on Raleigh's. They were kind of about what we were price wise. Huntsville has a tiered system. If you live more than 50 miles away, you only pay a $15 membership. And then if you live in Huntsville, you pay a full membership. Because a lot of Asheville people joined Huntsville a few years back because they only had to pay $15 versus 35 or 60.
Right. I just don't understand that. I mean, you can afford all these trips, but not pay $35.
Well, I don't either, but there are people that do that.
well, the people are getting some advantages. They, even though we didn't run any trips or have any meetings, they did still have racing. They're still,
But
They
they
still-
paid those dues. They have to pay race dues. That's separate too.
oh,
That racers have to pay a $35 race fee to Crescent.
well, the
That
Crescent,
most of them that have paid were doing it just for the club, knowing that COVID was a problem here, that we weren't going to be doing anything.
what did Crescent stop charging the clubs for the, I mean, we didn't get anything out of it, of being a Crescent. Did they stop charging the clubs? We have to still pay.
Membership fee to Crescent.
Yeah, we still have
No,
to pay
because they
that,
still have the trips, and
but they didn't.
except for that one, yeah.
Yeah, I think we paid
That's
dues.
the thing. If we're having to pay the council for the membership that we have, and we do have to pay them based on how many members we have, and they're not letting us get by, even though they didn't provide anything for us. Why would we
I agree.
Why would we be able to afford to not charge anybody?
We
You
want- we
still
wanted to
got
compare it
benefits
to-
through Crescent because a lot of people went on Charlotte's trip. Charlotte's ran 5 trips, and if you were a member of a Crescent Club, you paid $1 to be able to go on their trips.
Right, so
There are
people
stuff
did
like that.
get-
But it was just a thought, something because we give so little to the members, and we're a pretty big club
Mm.
compared to some of them that are giving free
Well,
membership.
haven't there been people already paid their membership dues this year, though?
Right, but we're gonna have to pay again starting June 1st. That's gonna be the new year.
So that's when you're suggesting that we may not collect dues starting.
People have already paid.
Well, what I've done is told the people on the Zermatt trip that if they are all, if they have paid for the year, then they don't need to pay to join, to go on the Zermatt trip.
But
The-
that trip's in
Utah.
July, and the
Right.
membership ends,
Membership is June. That's gonna
June,
mess
that they
everything
have
up.
to pay.
Right, but they joined back in the fall with the idea in mind that it was for 1 year. We changed things before that year ended. So they ought to be grandfathered in and let that be good. Now, if they want to go on any ski trips, that will definitely go into the next year. I think Pete was the one who gave me that idea. He said, what about the
Yeah.
people who already paid? Well, for the Zermatt trip, they're paid for the year. And I don't think we should charge them again.
They have to eventually pay anyway. They'll be paying
Right.
probably by July or August for the rest of the next
on
ski
ski.
season.
Right.
So they'll catch up.
So
And
I told
will
them,
probably be conscientious enough to pay it if they've already paid for this kind of a washout year. And I
Yeah.
agree with Jim that a lot of people who did pay the club dues this year did it on a kind of a personal reason, just to support the club.
that's
So
what most
I
of us
don't
did.
really want to deal with let's offer a possible free, a freebie to these people. I think they did it for good intentions. And I think it could just sort of mess it up with other people. And also you're promising something that could sort of come back on you in future years. So
I
I would
didn't-
just,
I have a question. I didn't pay a lot of attention to me, it was such a nominal charge, I guess, but I just paid it. And so the amount that we paid, was it in like the fall? When was it?
It was in
October,
the fall.
October.
Mhm.
So is it prorated at anything when you repay in June, or was it the full year and then you
Yes.
just start again?
start again.
Yeah. Well, I think just listening to y'all's conversation with all the pros and cons, that it's kind of a goodwill gesture for people who paid for sort of nothing for the past year. I mean, I don't see that administratively burdensome to know who did pay and waive them or give them a discount on the dues for the rest, and then charge everybody else who hasn't paid or is joining new or whatever the full freight. I mean, that might make people think well about the club. There've been a lot of concessions made because of COVID, and
Right.
to me, it's not a huge issue, but I could see that it might make some people feel good and it might be helpful to some people, but not a big deal either way.
Maybe we can pay those who complain when they have to pay again in June. If they complain, they say, well, we didn't get anything for our dues last year. But that'd be a pain in the butt. Corrected here in my paperwork.
And mine.
But,
would be a
Yeah.
Headache for me.
yeah,
The board has, voted to make the change of June 1st. So, and Jan, you're on the board, Jim, you're on the board. I mean, I don't mind taking this to the board. If somebody wants to make a motion that we go to the board with something, I'll be glad to do it. But they did just make the change to be able to bring it back to June 1st to try to align it back into trips to where you're not having to, in mid-cycle, be able to pay dues when you're trying to promote trips. But
right.
I'm open to what the membership wants to do, and I'll take whatever you want to the board. This needs to be, voted on to be able to do, and then we'll go forward with it.
Well, because of the trips and that, I think we could take the hit from some people. I just let it go. The way we knew there was going to be problems going to June to November. For those who already paid, I don't think they're going to complain, to tell you the truth, but who knows?
And I'm going to pay my dues. I'm they're going to be paid by June 1st. So it's not a big deal.
I don't think so either. But if you want to get a board meeting going, we can and discuss it more. I don't know if we need to, but I'm all for it if we have to.
Okay.
Get everybody on the board and pick a place to go.
Are we-
Okay,
are we
it sounds like it's a board issue and it needs to come up before the board, and we can discuss it along with the other board members who aren't here,
Right.
but it doesn't need to be discussed further at this meeting.
It'll have to be a board meeting, but what
That
I'm
was my
make sure
question.
that I understand is that, and of what the request is, and that way when we go to the board and we come back, it's clear of what we're asking. So Jim and you guys are clear on what's being asked. So when we go to the board, you'll be able to explain and
Yep.
put it out to them.
Did the board?
I would just phrase it that you might consider if there is some accommodation that you would make for those who did pay the dues, the full dues in the previous cycle, and just discuss whether you want to make an accommodation for those for just a one-time deal, to be determined.
Okay.
I thought we had asked at one point too remember how we used to give a discount for people that paid their dues early before
I've
the
asked-
deadline?
I've
And that-
asked for them to do that for
Yeah, and I
the
thought
last
it was
few
gonna go
years.
to the board, but I don't guess it ever made it to the board to go back to that. That was kind of an incentive for people. And it wasn't, but what, $5 or $10, maybe $5? Whoops,
That's me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going.
okay. I'd have to look at an old newsletter to see what it was, but we offered that for years. And, people would pay their dues early because they wanted that to get that discount, even though it was, $5.
I
But
have
that's-
suggested that repeatedly and nobody has gone for it.
Well, let's
it
make an
doesn't get
official
anywhere.
request to the board on that one. You're on the,
Well, I'm on the board. I'm on the board. I've suggested it before. And this is the second time I've been on the board.
I'd
and-
rather see that than the other one I talked about,
Yeah,
because that would
that makes,
benefit everybody.
Me too. I agree. That renewals are cheaper than new members.
Keep
Why
talking.
am I seeing this?
Wayne's looking for
It's going to bring it up.
Yeah. This is my computer. I'm sharing my screen with you. So let's see. I'm just trying to figure out what's in their dues.
but I've got a paper copy of them.
there it is. Doesn't say anything.
Nothing in there about discounts. Just checking just to make.
It's not, you won't find it in there. All right, these are so outdated. You'd have to go to, I've got the archives of all the paper newsletters going back to the 80s.
Right.
Wow.
This really is your life, isn't it?
Well, I inherited it when I was president. The president kept doing it. And then one time the president didn't know he had them. It took us 3 years to find them and he had them all the time. So I said, I'll just keep them. And then since we've gone digital, I just keep digital copies.
And when I need something like, who's up for election for board, Margaret says, it's this person right here. And so, I use her and abuse her on trying to go back and
That's right. Yeah, you're not gonna find anything in the bylaws about it. It wasn't a bylaw.
Okay.
It was probably a policy procedure, which we don't have separate.
All right. Okay.
What
Uh,
else?
I think we're clear on that. Something that's come to us is that available to us is the Capital Club. Anybody know anything about the Capital Club?
On top, it used to be on top of BB&T, wasn't it? Capital Club,
I'm not sure.
private dining club,
It
the
is.
private dining club.
It is.
Yeah, it was on the top of the old BB&T building
The old BB&T building, where was it?
where Eris. lives
Radisson,
now.
maybe?
No,
top of
where
the Radisson?
Eris is. Wasn't that the BB&T building?
One that's the new
Condo,
condo
right there at
building. now.
Advanced
It's
Monument.
right across from the Vance Monument.
Yeah, that used to be the BB&T. The
So
monstrosity.
what about the Capitol Club?
Yeah.
We've been invited there. I'm trying to think, Joe, what's Joe's last name? To be able to have our meetings there. And it's a ski club member. I don't know that he renewed last year, but his kids have skied with us in the past. They've been members. What is his name? Capital Club.
Wiley?
And it's very swanky. You've got balconies overlooking downtown Asheville. And so you got large views, and he's willing to be able to give it to us for free.
Ooh,
Bar, and as long as, we take care of bartenders, there's no fee. He said normally it's $1,500 to rent it out. And he's wanting to give it to us to be able to use. And he definitely wants to get back, involved with the ski club. He said this past year, things just didn't work out. What is his name? Joe.
Capital Club, it's awesome to me.
yeah.
Well, it sounds like business has fallen off so much with corporate gatherings and other things that they're just trying to get some money to their staff and their bartenders, and
Yeah.
it's a fixed cost for them for the facility. So anything they make's on the bar.
Right, Joe Scott. Margaret, you remember a guy named Joe Scott?
No.
His,
Joe
uh,
That rings a bell.
his family owns Snowshoe. He's here in Asheville.
His family owns Snowshoe.
Used to, yep.
Ooh,
And it's above the Junior Restaurant. Capital Club is above Red Junior.
Oh, wait, that's
Where's that?
over by Pritchard
Lexington
Park.
Avenue?
Pritchard Park.
Yeah,
From-
Red Ginger is a converted hotel,
Is it near the?
I guess to the west of Pritchard Park, but it
Across from-
looks right onto Pritchard Park.
It's across from Tupelo, honey.
Used to be what?
Yeah,
Oh, that used to be bank, didn't it?
the bank was actually right next door. It's now, I believe, a hotel. It was refurbished. It's a nice little restaurant too, by the way, in Red Junior.
Yeah, we can get food brought in from there. That'll work.
You get all these small dishes. It's
Yeah.
almost like,
It's very good.
yeah, they're very good. You can try a lot of little interesting East Asian dishes there.
So Joe asked me to run it by the membership. And again, it's free, no charge to be able to do. He said he can give us free parking in the back. So no charge for parking when we're downtown. And he said that he doesn't offer food himself, but he said, you can cater to Red Ginger, any place in town, we want to order food. Heck, Twisted Laurel, to be able to bring food in. He said he's totally fine with that. Is that something you guys are interested in? Maybe, new
Yeah.
one
Free is good.
You bet.
and the view.
it might be a draw too for people to try something new and feel like
Yeah.
it's a little more upscale.
Mhm.
Very much upscale.
Well, and parking's probably right behind them in the lot.
Yeah, there's a giant parking lot right behind all those
It's really
buildings.
nice and close.
All right, so this March, he
Sounds
asked me
good.
to
Which
contact.
Tupelo are you guys talking about?
Say again?
Which Tupelo, the one in town, the center of Asheville?
Richard
Yeah,
Park.
right by Pritchard Park. The Tupelo
Okay.
Honey there.
All
Yeah,
right.
probably take the crosswalk across, and it's right there beside Red Ginger up high. And there's balconies off the back of it with views.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Hey, Sonny, we can dress up.
There you go.
Make it a
Going
big
back in
day.
country club, no
You mean
tea.
get out of the sweatsuits,
Yeah,
pajama
out of the
bottoms?
vest and the flannel shirts.
I'll bring a disco ball.
They've got views of the bus stop too, which is always a thrill.
Go, check it out, Google it, Planet Capital Club. He asked me to make contact back with him in a couple of months after I've had a chance to run it by the club, which is going to be March, April, May. I'll talk to him in May. Probably our first meeting there would be like a September.
That
Let's
sounds
go.
very reasonable.
I think we ought to have a summer meeting at Highland Brewery. They've got everything set up outside just for fun. That the last time we had one, we spent a lot of time talking about whitefish and it generated a lot of interest.
That's a good place.
It is a fun place. They've got everything, so it's socially distanced. People enjoy it. It's outside. I think that would be
There's a rooftop bar there if you want to go up top.
yeah. Well, you can go if it rains, you can go under the in the open,
What's the campus? So
kind of like a garage
And you can
almost.
bring your dog. You can bring your dog.
You
there.
can bring your dogs, yes.
They had the food truck out there too. It was good.
Yeah, that I think we ought to do that for the summer just to get people back into the swing of things. Maybe an August meeting or something.
March. So
Or June.
what's your thoughts on the folks here? What are your thoughts about meeting face to face? When do you think that's going to be possible based on everybody's
getting shots.
feelings? Yeah.
No
Late
sooner
summer.
than August. No,
The
Yeah,
president
late
said-
summer.
The
yeah,
president
August or
said
September.
by the end of May, everybody that wants a shot will have one.
Hopefully, yes, you
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
Even
And
the
they're,
young ones,
pardon me?
even the young ones. Us oldies all got our shots, or close to us all.
Yeah.
We'll
But they're
probably still be masking and
Even-
things
even
like
Greg.
that, but it would be safer.
Yeah, it would be. Greg, you might even have a shot by then, huh?
Yeah, right. Or I'll take some couple of shots at the bar.
well, they did have things, they did have like circles set in with tables and things, but they had circles set out in the grass where you would be in your circle with people that
Yeah, right.
you were,
That you
lived
trust.
in your home or something.
Your
That group of
pod,
people would be there. There were little pods all over the place. So
yeah, your little pod.
it can be done.
And
It
so
can be
when
done.
do you think it's going to be possible to do that? I'm hearing August. I'm hearing June.
No sooner
Well,
than August, probably.
Yeah.
No sooner
August
than
sounds
August.
good.
Well, if it's in June, that gives us chance, if the Zermatt trip isn't sold out, that will give us a chance to present it, but I'm hoping it will be sold out in May.
All right, I'm just looking now to see if the rooftop is open. Visit us, venues. So I'll check back with you guys for in May and just sort of see what the comfort level is in May for June, July, or August.
Couldn't we have our first meeting outside at Highland or someplace like that in the summer?
Absolutely.
But that's what we were
That's fine.
talking about. Because it would be a lot better if there were an outdoor style
Yeah.
meeting
Yeah,
It would
and
be,
then start-
for the first meeting,
and then move to the inside venue later in the fall.
September, October, yeah.
right
yeah.
now, they're not open on Tuesdays, it's Wednesday through Fridays from 3 to 9 p.m.
Well, then we could have it at the park on the river
Okay.
where we had picnics before.
Carrier
Or
Park.
the Carrier Park.
Yeah.
No dogs though.
Oh, no dogs.
All right. So
Dogs.
I'm gonna put it on my note. Carrier Park, we'll bring it back up in May to see when you in June or July.
Oh, look. Is that a stuffed
Baxter-
animal? It's a stuffed.
Baxter says he wants to go. He wants to go to Highland Farm, to Highland Brewery. Don't you,
Okay.
Baxter? Yes.
If we do, we won't be able to go on Tuesday. We're okay with that.
Okay.
We've changed the date, no
It
big deal.
won't be a regular meeting. It'll just be it would just be a get
Get
together.
Get reacquainted meeting, I guess.
Yeah.
That's when you can break the news about the dues discount.
Or not.
After a few beers.
Oh,
Or not.
wait, they had to already pay it by June, so.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
right.
Okay, I'll bring it back up in May and we'll talk about it. And maybe it's something we meet, we'll make a decision June, July, or August.
Look, if you're gonna do the discount, it should be the people who come to the Zoom meetings first, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, and every year I was hoping Bill Melton would be on here. I have him in charge of the nominating committee. I was hoping he would be on tonight, but I haven't seen him. He must be tied up with at work. But however, is that we have elections coming up this year. March is supposed to be the time to be able to start collecting names for the nominating committee for who wants to run as president, vice president, I guess secretary, treasurer, and then we got a board member. I think it's Ken Porter Shirley's is up for his board member. So
Bunch, you got 3 on the board, don't you?
uh,
That are coming off. Doug McMillan was supposed to come off in 2020.
let me go back and look at it.
Who else comes off? Do I come
Uh,
off?
Ken Porter Shirley was 2021. Peggy Ayers was to come off in 2020. It was my understanding that they all agreed to stay on because of COVID last year and that we'd make the changes this year. And then Jim and Jan are 2022
You're absolutely right. Yep. So we got 3 board members
position.
to be able to fill and the other officers. So what I would ask for you to do is that if you have nominations, I don't feel comfortable in having them come to me, but if you got nominations, send those to Bill Melton. And I'm sure he's got other committee members that he's got to work on. But I'm currently finishing up my 3rd year. Our bylaws say that we can only serve 2-year terms at a time. And with COVID, everybody thought it was the best thing to be able just to go ahead and continue serving. But you know, if I'm the president another year, we're definitely going against our bylaws on what we should be doing as far as elections go and officers. So we definitely need to be looking. I know that Bill was talking to Tyler to see if Tyler was interested in it. So I'm not sure where that's gone or been. But you know, getting some more folks involved as the officers. I do know Kay is interested in giving up treasure. So anybody that would like to be treasurer, I know that she's interested in passing that on. She's got a lot of stuff going on in her life with her kids, some sickness going on. So I know that she wants to spend more time with them. And we've been very, very accommodating with her. If she can't make a report, you know, we've not pressed that, but she did get us a report for tonight, which I'm much appreciated of. But if you've got some nominations, let's go ahead and do those. And our election will be in April and the officers will take effect June 1st.
Okay.
What else? Anything else? I've got 809. Anything else?
How'd you do that, Lynn?
So there's a chat function. There's a little thing that says chat, and then there's a drop down box and you can chat with any one person or everyone.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, send me an email so I'll have your
I
email
will.
to notify you.
Yeah, I gotta go twist my husband's arm. No, I think we want to do it. It sounds like a great trip. We'll probably fly on our own though. There and
Well,
back.
I can tell you that Rob Merrill is not a skier. His wife Lee is. Rob is a retired dentist,
Mhm.
and he goes on my European trips too.
Yeah.
Jacqueline,
And
does-
it's a real romantic venue, and I remember the food being good. I did get altitude sickness there, but that's because I drank too much when I first got there.
yeah, baby.
And it's not that high. It's
I
nice.
know, but honey, you don't know what I did on the plane on the way over. So,
I heard about that one.
That's what I love about Europe is that it's a low altitude. It's, you know,
I
it's no
know.
more than it is in Asheville. Or,
Bad liquor. It's bad liquor.
And then the smell of raclette at every meal with everybody smoking and all those ashes falling in their food, and the French like eat and then they smoke and then they eat and then they smoke. But
yeah, I'm glad that part of the things have changed.
yeah, right. But it sounds like a great trip anyway. No, I really want to go. So my
Okay.
birthday's tomorrow, Thursday. I'm going to ask for it for my birthday. So
Yeah,
I'll
that's-
probably be emailing you.
Anything else for
Okay.
the good?
All right.
Uh,
All
That's
right,
it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
stop the recording, and if you guys want to continue.